What is going on, Lakers Fast Break family, Lakers Corner family, everybody that's tuned in, locked in here with us, man? We unfortunately just saw the Lakers lose to the Warriors 123-116, and talk about a game where we turn it on too little too late. I think that's a great way to describe how this game went, man. This game just really went the whole game too little too late. We started off that first quarter, relatively hot. We actually dominated the beginning half of that first quarter, and then went on that 10 shot miss drought where what's up, JSJ? How you doing, brother? Daniel Berry, what's going on? And Natalia, how you doing? But we went on that drought in that first quarter where we missed 10 straight shots in a row, and then immediately the Warriors just ran off the rest of the game, to be honest with you. Pods or whatever that guy's name, or Brandon Pazinski or whatever the fuck his name is, man. That guy had 22 points in the first half, y'all. Had six threes in the first half. He finished the game with 28. So that should tell you a little bit about about how that game went. Everything was going their way, but also to the Lakers, and not, I mean, not to their credit, we know, into let's get on their defense. Let's harp on that. They were not keeping the Warriors off the 3 point line at all. It looked like they were perfectly content with letting one of the best 3 point shooting teams in the league just shoot the lights out, man, lights out. So that was absolutely ridiculous, guys. It just LeBron turned it on too late. AR turned it on too late. Luca, I don't think he ever turned it on in this game. I was saying in the playback, this is by far one of the worst Luka Doncic performance I have seen all season long, man. But here we are, though, man. Lakers lose 123-116. Happy to have everyone in here with us. Lloyd, what's up, brother? How you doing? Said Lucas sucks, but LeBron said Lucas sucks, but happy LeBron's starting to get healthy. Absolutely, man. Starting to get healthy. Let me see. Natalia's a little bit upset here. What did Natalia say? Natalia said something about Luca's game. Said Luca is 6'8" and just hunts fouls and chucks threes. Why does he never post up? Absolutely. I think a lot of times Luca will have a mismatch. He'll have a smaller defender on him and just choose to, exactly like what you said, foul bait, look for fouls. I understand, you get to the line, those are free buckets. Like I understand the logic behind that, but Luke, a lot of the times you got to realize you got tree trunks as legs, and you a big boy. Not a lot of people gonna move you out the way, man. But happy to have everybody here with us, man. Natalia said, I like Luca, but his complaining and foul hunting is too much. I agree, man. I agree. His complaining is something that, when he came to the Lakers, I was like, damn, we're getting one of my second favorite players. LeBron's my favorite player, and then it'd be Luka, my second favorite player. But I was like, damn, we got the two most chronic complainers on our team now, in Luka and LeBron, and it has not disappointed. We see many times where Luka doesn't get back because he's complaining. Bron, same thing. A lot of times Bron just don't get back because he's just tired. But JSJ said, "John, go off, please, man, brother. I'm right here with you, bro. Like, this is a go off type night. And for everyone that is wondering, Joe and everyone who will still be joining us, I believe Sean will be joining us. He had a lot to drink tonight on playback, so don't know if he's gonna remember to join, but I hope he does because he's giving us some great content. And Joe will be joining us here soon as well. Gustavo said, "Hi, John. What's up, Gustavo? How you doing?" It was a terrible game, absolutely terrible game. Natalia, I agree. LeBron and Reeves and Rui tried to carry, but also it was just ridiculously late in the game. Like, they started to turn it on extremely late in the game, and then also another thing that we pinpointed and talked about when we were on playback. So if you guys aren't ever on playback, come get with us on playback. We talked about the fact of, like, we weren't even going to Luca late in the game. I understand, he was struggling, not having a great game, but at the end of the day, you got to realize a generational player like Luka Doncic, like, all it takes is seeing one go through the hoop. See one go through the hoop changes the landscape of absolutely everything, man. So, man, we just made so many mistakes. Let me see what my boy Doobie said. Doobie said, I could cry about Luca, but we had our chances tonight. Rui, Ron getting healthy. Yeah, I mean, it's I wouldn't necessarily call it crying doobie. I would call it critiquing, right? Because this was, in my opinion, I said it on playback, by far worst Luka Doncic performance we've seen when him wearing that purple and gold. So I wouldn't necessarily call it crying. I would say, hold him accountable for his actions. That's what I was. There he goes. There he goes. Oh, he see us, Joe? Oh, not yet. Okay, okay. He'll come soon. He'll come soon. But in the meantime, let's keep rolling right along. My boy Top Notch in the building, man. Top Notch, how you doing? Um, Good to see you, brother. Happy that you joined up here with us and in playback. Let me see what y'all was talking about. Okay, all good, everyone. Joe, let me know when you're good to go. Hit me with a little chat here. JJ had no answers for defending. Absolutely, we had no answers for them. We had no answers for the 3 point line. Like I said, man, we were no joke watching one of the best 3 point shooting teams in the league shoot threes wide open. Weren't at no point were we running them off 3 point line. I talked about Pod's 6 3 pointers that he had in the first quarter. Dorian Finney-Smith at the end, Bloodhound. You are preaching to the choir, brother. You're preaching to the choir. Granted, I think the game was already cooked at that point, but him doing that cooked it even worse, man. Cooked it even worse. Let me see what Ty said. My thing with Luca. I'm gonna just go ahead and keep running through y'all comments here until we get someone here to join us. So my thing with Luca is that if you aren't playing well offensively, try to rebound, defend, and not complain. Absolutely. If you're not, affecting the game in the way that you usually do, try to affect the game in other ways. But just defending, we all know is not going to be a way that Luca can affect the game. But I agree with you, Natalia. I agree with you. Joe, he doesn't speak until he's ready. Yeah, sure, I guess. JSJ, John, you're by yourself. I'm modding the channel from now. Sounds good, JSJ. Happy to have you here, modding brother. Happy to have everyone here. We got 42 people here watching with us right now, man. Appreciate everybody being here. Dorian Finney-Smith is extremely streaky, man. He's an extremely streaky shooter. I mean, remember the game? I think it was last game, right, against the Rockets when he went off and hit all those threes. And then now this game, has chokes away that last possession. Had 2 points today. Went 0-5 from 3 point line. I mean, it was just last game, yo. What he hit six. I believe it was 6 of 12 from the 3 point line. Now this game, 0-5. JSJ, at least John can read my comments. JSJ, I'm always showing love to your comments, brother. What are you talking about? Always showing love. Luca and Dorian Finney-Smith. Really, was Luca? Wow. Shout out BC for that. Because BC, I was watching it, and I guess I didn't even really peep. I guess, Luca did go 0 for 6 from the 3 point line. That is a really good point. Wow. We as a team shot horrendously. 8 of 46 from the 3 point line. It was really just Austin Reeves, and he was hitting some crazy shit. Like he had 3 at the end that was just from Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard range, pulling, swish. That's the streak, and that's that little end run we went on. That's when I was like, all right, we might be able to get back into this game. But just like how I opened up the post game here, man, too little, too late. We would have turned that on in the third quarter. I think could have been a completely different game, man. Could have been a completely different game. Let me see what we got here. Xbox, what's up, brother? You about to come through here to the to post game, or are you're not gonna be able to come today? Let me know, brother. Let me know. Lucas stank up the bed. Yeah, by far Lucas' worst game as a Laker, guys. By far Lucas' worst game as a Laker. Let me see. Xbox said he's gonna come on. I think he said he's gonna come on. Sports baby, what's up, brother? You about to join up, Joe? Let me know when you're ready, brother. Because I think Joe's getting all set up here with his background. Where's DK? Nick T, brother, that is the question we are all trying to answer, brother. That is the question. And we know that it's because of his bad defense. A lot of times I feel like he doesn't understand the offense as well, too. There he is. But damn, JJ Redick, we got to give this man a chance. But let's introduce the man of the minute, the hour, the day, the Joe Soro experiment. My boy Joe, how you doing, brother?
You guys doing all right? Am I am
We
I am I coming in well?
coming in well. I love the green screen. I love the background. I
Yeah, the
think it
green
blends.
screen is being it's still kind of doing what it's needing to do, but I feel like there's a lag. Is there a lag?
Like on your voice or no? Or what do you mean?
No, on the picture.
There's not a lag, but I can see it kind of like blending in with your mic a little bit. You know, like you see right there on
Yeah,
your mic, kind of blends in. But it looks good though. Looks good. Good background.
yeah,
I
it's
love the
it's
addition,
lagging
brother.
on my end. I don't know why it's doing this.
You're good for us. You're good for us.
Okay,
I don't know if
cool.
you want
As
to
long as
go.
it's good here, then I'll roll.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to give us some thoughts here on the game. You were there, you witnessed this massacre and this too little, too late. But talk to us how you feel about this game, Joe.
Oh, it encompasses the issues that the Lakers have had pretty much the whole year, and that is this terrible fundamental basketball, not having the ability to box out consistently. Missing shots is part of the game, but not getting offensive rebounds when you have three guys in and around the rim and there's one guy from the opposing team that's getting the rebound, that ends up being fundamentals and want. And that was terrible the entire game. Golden State also, I think, played above their heads a little bit tonight, making almost every shot, it seemed like. I've been watching a lot of Warriors games, so I don't know if they've been making those shots on a regular basis, but usually they don't when they play the Lakers, especially when they're in LA. But I don't understand. You have Luka Doncic on this team, and you barely use him towards the end of the game. There's
Hmm.
there's some serious issues with what this team needs to do when it matters, and I don't know what JJ Redick is doing and not putting the ball in Luka's hands and creating a creating what's worked for him in the last 7 years, and that is him dictating the tempo and allowing him to make shots that are going to be probably easier for him if he's got some space. And we don't really see that. It's essentially just street ball at this point. Open up, open up the game a little bit, see who gets open, let them shoot when they're a little open, and that's it. That's all I see.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for giving us the what you saw here on this game, Joe. Happy to have you here with us. And I'm trying to do my best Podfather impression. I'm trying to do my best Gerald impression by
Oh,
being
dear
able
God,
to.
help you. Where'd he go?
Hey, I don't know. I think he might have took him. I think he might go fix something.
Oh, okay.
But I think he'll be right back. But anywho,
Is it me
uh,
or was it me? That he's
I don't think it was you, Gerald. I don't think it was you. But like I said, I'm trying to do my best Gerald impression by kind of holding it down while you're gone, Gerald. But you're back now, Gerald. So thank you that you're back. And the chat is happy to have you here. I know JSJ said go buy Switch too. But Gerald, talk
do
to
you
us.
do I have to take out a bank loan or something for it? Because that's how much they want. Oh, arm, a leg. Hey, Nintendo wants an arm and my leg. Hey, there you go. All right. There you go. Thanks, Nintendo. All right, wonderful.
But Gerald, I know you were family. Did you have a chance to watch the game or
Oh yeah.
no chance to
Yeah, I
watch?
was I was keeping an eye on the whole time just because I may not be always talking. Doesn't know,
Mhm.
Lakers just can never go on a run. They could never go on a run. They could never sustain any type of momentum. The defense was atrocious to bad. And that's when it was good, it was bad, as far as that's concerned. The bench gave us very little production, which is sad because on a day where Rui Hashimura and LeBron James were really very efficient from the field, it's you wasted a game from them. To be quite frank, from them, and Luca, people are going to be all over Luca. Luca has to be great every single time, and today he was just bleh. And unfortunately, that negates a great game by Austin, a great game by Rui, and a great game by LeBron. Their defense was really bad, but I was going to try to get Joe back here. I have a question for Joe. Joe, can we get you back on here in a sec? Because I have a question for him because he's
I
playing with
think
his
he's trying to.
backgrounds right
I think
now.
he's trying to fix his background because it was a little laggy earlier
Yeah, so I
when he was
saw. I
doing it.
saw. 2 frames per second. Hate that when that happens.
That is all good.
Yeah,
Sometimes the
Vari,
Wi-Fi
I
doesn't
do
want to
that
work.
to a lot of people. Yes, Vari, I do that a lot to a lot of people. But yeah, I want to get Joe back in here because I remember our good friend Rodell, who is actually in the chat.
In the chat right now.
In the chat right now. And there was the draft, the infamous JHS draft. And if you
Tell him,
remember,
Gerald.
yeah, JHS was drafted, and I know that he used to have an issue with us because we were always popping up Cam Whitmore. We were popping up Triple J. He also had a problem with us popping up one Podziemski. And I was saying that these guys are much better players than what JHS could offer the Lakers. And, I know that we kept going back and forth on it and never really saw Pods as a major contributor at that time. I may be wrong, but I think I've got the letters and the emails back to prove it. But I'll just say this, Podziemski is, not always been the most consistent of players yet in the second season. I know that our good friend Legend will probably tell you that. But today, I think you see now why he has remained a integral part of the rotation, integral part of their starting lineup, why they continue to have faith in Podziemski is for games like these. Now, mind you, this is the top end of what you're going to get from Podziemski at this point in his career, but still, you can see what they see and have always seen in them, what Joe and I saw out of him last year when we were constantly fighting Rodell about this last year, about him or Triple J or Cam Whitmore being better players than what the Lakers had drafted. So I'm not going to say we were right on it 100%, but you can see now that clearly their patience is starting to pay off in Golden State. I know he is not the most consistent of shooters, but he does a lot of things that fill up the box scores for them. And today his shot was on, and unfortunately the Lakers had no answer for him. And the fact, they shot close to 45% from three. That's going to be a killer every time, Joe.
The Lakers are going to have to ride out the season however they can ride it out. And then when the season's over, there needs to be a clear understanding of what they really want to build the rest of the way. I don't know.
Did we lose Joe again?
Yeah, he's kind of lagging. It's all good.
Joe, it's got him in an action photo. It's got him in an action photo, though.
Can you hear us here, Joe? I don't think he can hear us.
See, Rodell is denying it now. So.
Rodell's like, shut down that Wi-Fi. Shut down that Wi-Fi.
It's all on the internet, Rodell. It's all on the internet. We had those back and forths. You got the emails. It's all right there. So we never said you're a JHS fan, but you were just clowning us about those three players that we were so much higher on than JHS. And I'll just leave it at that, John. But again,
yes,
the defense was absolutely miserable tonight, and you got nothing from the bench. That's always a recipe for disaster.
To I guess Rodell's credit or Pod's credit, however you want to look at it, I don't think Pods has another game like this. I mean, bro had 22 points at halftime, had 6 threes at halftime, finished the game with 28. So he absolutely cooled off. He was just on a burner in that first half. But to what the Lakers were doing, I mean, shit, we were not running him off the line time and time again, Gerald. He was getting wide open, butt naked looks. That's how Dorian Finney-Smith would say, butt naked open looks.
But this is the problem, though. That's been the Lakers' style of defense since they had that transition in mid-January, is to give up more threes, to take more threes with Luka once he got here, but to also give up more threes. Now, it works for you in ways, and it works for you in some ways it doesn't, because it all depends on how hot that team is or how consistent that team is when you give them open looks. And a team like Golden State, when they see Curry go off for 12 threes, it feeds into itself and the confidence that they have had since they gotten Jimmy Butler. And look at them now. They're a game back. Well, they're actually 2 back. when you consider they're a game back in the standings, but they have to go ahead and get a game ahead of the Lakers because the Lakers still own the tiebreaker. But still, you've made it harder on yourselves. All those games that the Lakers have punted and thrown away, it goes right back to that. And I know people, and I know people don't want to hear that, John. I don't want. I know that Joe's having some issues. You with us now, Joe?
Joe, can you hear us?
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So
Is what is this? Is this because we're all on at the same time? Like, what the hell's going on here? I didn't have anything going on here.
I think it was just your Wi-Fi. I don't know.
I don't have I'm on a fucking hard line.
Brother, don't get mad at
I
me.
honestly don't know.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. I don't fucking use hot Wi-Fi on the shows. I use a hard line.
Okay, I don't know.
Anyways, I don't it's not it was enjoyable for a minute, but they have lost whatever that was. Teams have adjusted maybe a little bit. The Lakers have not readjusted from that. That's the whole point in sports, especially at this level, where you have teams that are going to adjust to your strengths and your weaknesses. And the Lakers don't seem to adjust to anything when someone else adjusts to what they're doing. They're just not a smart team. They're a very stupid basketball team. Also, that doesn't help the fact that they don't have fundamentals and they don't really practice. I don't know why teams don't practice. If they're saving them for a rainy day, I don't know what the hell they're saving this stupid ass team for. If you're stupid, it's better to get more repetition so you get unstupid. That's what happens when you suck at something. You keep doing it until you're really good at it. And if you're worried about these pansy ass soft bitches fucking getting hurt from it, then what's the point of playing sports then? You might as well go do something else. And that's really what this is, guys. I could lay into this every single game because it's even like this in wins too. You could see it in wins. They're just a lazy leaderless team. And I don't know why they're not using Luka at the end of games. I am absolutely like in complete bewilderment on why they don't use Luka. Is one of the guys in this league that actually has a clutch gene. Why isn't he being used? I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. But JJ Redick needs to figure something out here because his coaching the last week or so has been absolutely atrocious. And it might not even be him either. It might just be the fact that maybe this team is just mentally burnt, and we're just here to see them fizzle out eventually.
Yeah. To Drew's point, Drew said he lost 1K in this Lakers loss tonight. So I am sorry about that, Drew. That is a tough loss. Hoping that the Lakers were gonna pull it out here today. And then Ruff said just felt like a scheduled loss. Luka never inserted any urgency. I agree. I think as a team, we never inserted any urgency on both ends, on the defensive end, on the offensive end. And it wasn't until late in the game. It wasn't until late in the game that AR and LeBron and them actually started to turn it up. Looked like they actually gave a fuck, to be honest with you. So this was a really bad game, and it also really hurts because just last night we have the Russell Westbrook choke job where he misses the free throw and then fouls the guy. And then now we have the perfect position. I'm like, all right, cool. We can get one game ahead of Denver. Here we go. And we aren't able to secure the deal, aren't able to close close it out. And then James Hex said, let's keep giving JJ pass and loss and praise him and wins. That's not true, James Hex. I feel like myself, Joe, and Gerald, we all get on JJ.
He has
we need
no
to get
clue.
on
This
JJ.
guy has
Yeah.
no clue.
Let
I
me-
mean, how many times?
Gerald.
Well, let me just say this. Let me just say this real quick. How many
Go ahead.
times have I told you that as a rookie coach, as we lose Joe again, I don't know where he is. As we lose Joe again, how many times did I tell you that we were going to have bumps in the road and ups and downs because he's a rookie coach? How many times?
Yeah.
And how many times did I tell you early in the season when he got out coached by not only one world championship coach, but two world championship coaches pretty much back-to-back games? So James
Yeah.
needs to step off his incorrect comments and get them corrected, or else he might be seeing himself somewhere else. And we'll just leave
I'll
it.
be honest. James has a lot of incorrect comments, and every
He's
time
just
he's been on the
incorrect.
show, he's just incorrect. The way he talks,
Just
it, and
he should
it
change
looks
his
like he's a
name
troll.
to James Incorrect Hex.
To
There you
James
go.
Incorrect Hex,
Yes.
exactly. Because he has a lot of
Yes.
incorrect comments, and to me, it's just like, damn, James, why do you come on the show, you say trolling ass comments that aren't true. We have given JJ the ridicule so many damn times when he's fucked up. We have said time and time again that this will be a learning process. He's a first-time head coach. He will get out coached time and time again. But I mean, he's learning through the process. And when he does good shit, we give him his credit. We give him his praises. But when I literally was just earlier getting on JJ Redick because he's leaving Dalton Connect in the motherfucking doghouse, and then deciding to give Vando, big time minutes. So Nick, James Hex, whatever your name is, brother, you gotta get your facts straight on a lot of topics. Like I said, I don't think hoop is the lane for you, but I don't know. We appreciate you being here though, brother, because it helps our channel. So there we go. But Joe, are you back here with us now?
Yeah.
You want to say anything?
What was the question?
I mean,
It's basically about JJ Redick. We're just talking to Johnny Hex, Incorrect Hex, about his incorrect assessment.
Why? What did he say?
He said that
we're never hard on JJ unless always just throw him roses, and we never actually criticize JJ Redick for anything.
He said we give him a pass, Joe.
In a nutshell, paraphrasing.
No, we don't give anybody here a pass.
That's what I'm saying. Incorrect Hex.
This is an issue that has been here for a while. It went away a little bit when Luka got traded here. But our initial assessment of the team is this team has a few major deficiencies, especially in the front court, and it will cause a problem with rebounds and the ability to run I don't know if it's a coherent, aggressive type offense that probably Luka needs. Initially, it was good. Jackson Hayes was getting a lot of lobs. He was getting a lot of next level type center opportunities that he wasn't getting because of the fact that Luka and LeBron were kind of feasting on the ability to get some space and be able to lob it to someone like Jackson. But once the opponent started putting that away a little bit, and Jackson's not the type player that can adjust to adjustments on him. Usually it's like one or the other. It turned into something that can be kind of neutralized. The Lakers, I don't see any identity anymore. There was a little bit of an identity when they first started busting out. They had a lot of energy. They were playing better they're playing really good team defense. That's gone away. I don't know if that's because guys are getting tired, which it sounds like they are. And if that's the case, if these guys in their 20s are tired, it only adds to the angst that these guys are even softer than maybe we even talk about. I mean, you're talking about players that are supposed to be some of the best conditioned athletes on the planet. You're talking about really, the rosters are bigger than this, but you're talking about only, you got 30 teams. You're looking at about 250 players in the entire planet that can apparently do what these guys do. Guys that actually play game in and game out, right? And yet most of these guys are either always hurt, always complaining about too much work, and they're getting paid more money now than they ever have in their lives. It's mind-boggling to me how this has become an issue where we're worried about these guys being tired and they're 26, 25, 24 years old. They look tired today after 2 days off. So what's going to happen tomorrow? Are they going to rustle up enough energy to play tomorrow and win? I don't know. They usually play well on the back end of back-to-backs. But they lost another opportunity today to maybe solidify the third seed a little bit more because Denver looks like they're cooked. I just don't get it. I don't know what these guys do. I really don't. I'm not in their practices. No, Luka's not a fraud. This is not a Luka orchestrated roster.
And I want to go ahead, Joe. Finish up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and if the Lakers kind of hit the crapper here at the end of the year, I'm curious to see what the Lakers do during the summer. LeBron's going to probably play another year, but I want to know if if next year's going to be his last year. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to end up looking at this year going, do you really think another year older LeBron is going to be an effective player next year? That's a question that I think I'm starting to come back to again. Is the common denominator right now is still LeBron James. AD is gone. You can't blame AD anymore. But is LeBron James a player that the Lakers are going to have to make a decision on next year to say, look, it's time we go into the next direction? That's going to be the big question.
Diva X-Ray or Diva X-Ray. Yes, we play tomorrow. We play New Orleans. And then I wanted to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers guy comment. He was just talking about how he thinks Luka's still fat and hasn't changed one bit from last year to this year. Now, I'll be honest, this I totally disagree with. Like the difference between last year and this year, you can definitely see him giving more effort on the defensive end and him playing the passing lanes a lot more. But your other comment that you had earlier, Los Angeles Lakers, whatever his name is, can't see the full name, but the comment he said is that Luka will never. This is the reason Luka will never win a championship, and I disagree. I disagree because what I think what Luka needs is Luka. He is a generational great offensive player. Like if you watch tonight's game and no other game, you might disagree, but then I would tell you watch any other game. But Luka is so great that you kind of have to live with what he gives up on the defensive end. You have to ask him, to try. You have to ask him to move his puppies and give effort, because that's really what it is on the defensive end, is giving effort enough to where the help can at least get there. Like hedge enough to where the help can at least get there, and a good defender can come up. So you kind of have to live with it, but you have to build the team around him so where he can kind of hide, right? And to have that, you need, and I don't know who said it in the chat here. So if I didn't give you your credit, I'm sorry, I missed it here in the chat. But somebody said we really need to get like a solid defender, a two-way player to be able to put here next to Luka so that we can kind of hide him. And that's kind of what I think of when you look at the Warriors' early runs, like when they were in that dynasty run. Stephen Curry was a defensive liability. You go watch any of those games, they were going at him. But you know what the Warriors did? They built a team perfectly around him to be able to hide him on the defensive end. And that's what we're going to have to do with Luka Doncic. We're going to have to live with, the bad defense. We're going to have to live with that. You expect him, to get better over time, but know that he'll never be a elite, Dorian Finney-Smith, or he'll never be an elite, perimeter defender. That's just not what he does. And I honestly, to be honest with you, I don't even want him exerting all the energy on the defensive end because of how much he does for us on the offensive end. Like, I'd rather him have the energy for the offensive end. So I just wanted to add, like, the Los Angeles Lakers guy, like, yeah, I hear you, to where, his defense isn't great, but you got to build a team around him to where, we can hide him on the defensive end, because what he brings on the offensive end is just something that you just can't pass up on. It's literally generational talent. So that's what I'll say on that.
Well, the thing is that these hyperboles that this generation continues to spew. We had a comment on the chat. These are the greatest athletes ever. No, they're not the greatest athletes ever. They're not. I'm sorry. I always use the same example. You wanna put David Robinson next to Chet Holmgren, and you'll see who the better athlete is. And that was 30 years ago.
You're choosing Chet though.
Who's the defensive player who was picked high, who's gonna be this star? I mean, that's who are we gonna go? Wembanyama, who's fairly skinny, right? He can barely make it through a season as well. These guys are built. These guys are built like sand in your hand at the beach. They're weak. They're soft. They're mentally soft. And the Lakers are quite dumb. Their IQ of basketball is quite dumb. How many 3-point shots can you foul the shooter? What does Stu Lance say? What has Stu Lance said more than anything in telecast? If you guys listen to Stu Lance on Sportsnet or Fox Sports before then, or back when they were Prime Ticket and all those things, right? He'd say you cannot foul a 3-point shooter. And they absolutely looked like complete dumb shits today, continually to foul a 3-point shooter. And this is not, this is a just, it's just not there. They're not a smart team. There's no demand for smart basketball. There's no demand for playing with an IQ that's above whatever the average IQ is in basketball. Everything is about, let's just get the ball, pass it till somebody's open, and shoot the ball from three. That's all it is. If that's the NBA and you have Luka Doncic, then you have to form the team to be that. And this team does not have that. They're not a smart basketball team. And even if they're not smart, they don't have enough consistent shooters, and they don't have anyone down low that can rebound. So these things need to be fixed. And if you want me to sit here and call out Luka Doncic, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it, because these problems were here before Luka was here.
Yes.
Do you understand what that means? You want me to call out Luka for things that were happening before Luka got here. Why? This isn't something we made up. If you watched the basketball before February 1, after, for a little bit after February 1 when Luka got here, this team actually played smart basketball and were playing amazing team defense. What happened? Teams adjusted. Now they haven't readjusted. Or they
even
got,
with
quote, unquote,
AD,
tired.
Joe, they were still a bad defensive team and a bad rebounding team.
Yes. So
Nothing's
what?
changed.
So that is very important to bring up there, Gerald. Yeah, absolutely. This team lacks discipline. It lacks fundamentals. It lacks the ability to consistently be in it, game in and game out. And when they do get that rhythm, when they do get that momentum, the dipshits like JJ Redick and management and the players decide to take a vacation. This is a problem that will not go away. And if you want it to go away and keep playing like this, then you're going to have guys that can really perform game in and game out. At some point, they got to perform. I don't even know what that means. Think about it for a second. You have the Oklahoma City Thunder winning games in droves. You have Cleveland winning in droves. Yet there are still doubts for those teams to win it. Why? Why? Because maybe they just play better because they have better all-around talent. But it's a bad philosophy in terms of how to play basketball. That's why. There's no one really you're looking at that's like, man, this team is dominant. So what is it? And what is it about calling people out after every game? What is that going to do? Is that so that you can feel good about yourself because you're sitting there going, oh, you need to tell him that he sucks? Is that what you guys want? I'm not going to do that.
Real quick to Sam Coon's Coon Khan, whatever his saying is, that is a great point. Yes, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, all of them are stronger, but definitely could not get up and down the court like how the game is up and down the court. But that's not even what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is someone, I believe was the Los Angeles Lakers guy. He said, how do you switch it? How do you hide Luka against the Celtics?
How the hell do you guys know if he's going to run up and down the court? What do you think they were doing in the 90s? You think they were just walking?
No, but it was not like how it is as far as like the up tempo of the game.
Running around.
The game is a lot more.
Guys?
The game is a lot more up tempo. But listen, that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is what Los Angeles Lakers guy comment said. He talked about how do you hide Luka Doncic against the Boston Celtics? That is one team, and if you've been following me and my page for some time. And even though I'm a Lakers fan, I'm a realist and I gotta keep it real. That is one team that it is impossible to hide anyone against. That is why that and Kyrie Irving having a choke job, that is why the Dallas Mavericks lost last year in the finals. The Celtics went at Luka Doncic every single time last year. They targeted him on the defensive end. And then the Mavs on the other end, they could not target no one. There is not a single player on that Celtics starting five that can't switch 1 through 5. They could all go inside. They go perimeter. They could they got the best defensive backcourt. They might have the best like offensive duo. And I know it's annoying as fuck to say as a Lakers fan, but that is the one team, them and I want to see what the Cavaliers do come playoffs. But those are the only two teams right now that are built to be one switching 1 through 5. And like I said, if you've been following me for some time, I've been talking about this. I've been saying that is the style that you want to copy. That is where you want to go. You want to be able to have switchable 1 through 5, because this league just one thing I'll give all the OGs in here credit on is back then they would fight over screens like crazy. They would get over a screen. It doesn't matter who you are. Nowadays, they just concede switches and just say, oh, all right, switch it. And for the Celtics, it works out perfect. But if you don't have 1 through 5 that can switch, it ends up being a problem. So, so I just wanted to say that to that point, because there is no way of hiding Luka Doncic against a team that can switch 1 through 5. But also, I don't think that we're built to even go to the finals this year. So, yeah.
Joe, I think you need to respond to some of the people out there.
Well,
trying
Inspector
to,
says don't ever compare Kobe to Luka. I don't know where the hell that came
Who
from.
said that?
who said
Who
that?
compared-
And that's
I'd
it.
like to know.
That's it. I'm not addressing anything he says anymore, because I don't even know what the hell he's talking about.
But
You imagine
Rodell
that in your
says,
head. Yeah, I never
Rodell
compare
says-
anybody to Kobe. Matter of fact, Kobe's
Yeah.
the second best player I've ever seen in the NBA.
Rodell
behind
says,
Michael.
yeah, Joe gives Luka a pass.
And if you
every
think
time.
Hakeem Olajuwon and David Robinson couldn't run and gun, you're a fucking idiot. I mean, seriously, you guys, some of you guys are fucking stupid. You're out of your fucking mind. Out of your fucking mind. David Robinson looked like a Greek god, by the way. He was built like a brick shithouse, okay? And Hakeem Olajuwon had the best footwork that's ever existed for a big man. And Patrick Ewing could drop shots in your ass day in, day out, and he was always available 82 games a year. And if you think running and gunning wasn't part of the 80s when they played 82 games a year, then you're out of your fucking mind too. Some of y'all are stupid. Seriously, straight up fucking stupid. Okay, I'm not gonna. I don't give a shit what you say about old man this, new man that. These are the softest fucking bitches I've ever seen in sports. Is the NBA basketball player? Okay, baseball players now are tougher than basketball players. I used to joke around about baseball players taking days off back in the day when they would miss 10 games. These guys are taking fucking 25 games off a year now. Fucking Maxi's out for the year. Paul George and his stupid ass and his podcast out for fucking 25 games. I'll give Embiid a pass. He had injuries at the beginning of his career. His legs are good. You're talking about a 300-pound man. I'll give him that, okay? I'll give him a little bit of a pass because that's a lot of weight on that body. But all these perimeter guys that sit there and bitch and whine about oh, I don't want to play. I want to get paid $40 million a year, but they only want to play 60 games a year. Fuck you, okay? You're soft and you're a bunch of bitches. You don't earn shit. And as far as the Lakers are concerned, Luka, LeBron, whatever. Again, I'm going to say this again. The Lakers had these issues before February 1. So if you want me to get on Luka for sucking tonight, fine. But if you think he's the problem, then you haven't watched the game all year. You haven't been watching this team.
The problem is deeper than that. The problem is deeper. And Joe, you talked about accountability earlier. I think accountability, you know where that starts? That starts at the top. And we have talked about a lot of the times, JJ Redick, I don't feel like he's necessarily holding everyone accountable, nor is he even getting held accountable at times. And I think that trickles down. That's a trickle down effect.
Oh,
So
and by the way, Sean actually did research on this about possessions. I would have guaranteed just by the way the game is played now, that the difference between back in the day possessions per team per game would be like 9 or 10 extra possessions a game. He did the research and ended up being like 1.5 more possessions from the 90s till and now. It
Man,
hasn't
hold on,
changed.
hold on. Hey,
It hasn't
shut,
changed.
Block, shut your dumb
Barely.
ass up, Block, shut your dumb ass up, Block.
Barely changed based off the stats
Shut
of
your dumb ass up,
possessions.
Block.
Okay, so
You guys blamed AD
I-
and will be furious at him. That's not
you
true.
you guys are wanting a reason why this team is not playing well. There's a couple reasons. Number one, they're not very smart. They're not whatever it is physically, mentally, all there. And what else? You want Luka to be a round peg to go into a square hole, whatever it is that they say. This guy needs specific players, just like when we talked about for decades with LeBron. What is LeBron's best asset? What is his best asset? Getting him shooters. You want LeBron to be at his peak? You want him to be the best he can be? Why? LeBron is the surest thing in basketball to the hoop, and nothing opens up that lane more than when he has a sniper on the left, sniper on the right, sniper on the back right, sniper on the back left. That is really ultimately what would work. Now, that's not how basketball plays game in and game out, possession by possession, but at least make sure that they're the threat. Because
Good
you don't want to
question for you,
obviously.
Joe.
Huh?
Question for you in the chat.
Okay. JJ did say 90s players were watered down. Does Joe think he's stupid? I think he said some stupid things, and Jerry West confirmed it. He called Jerry West's era a bunch of plumbers, and he said that the 90s were watered down because there was expansion in 1988 and in 1995. But you tell me, what is considered watered down? I mean, I've seen more top 75 players in their primes in the 90s than I have anywhere else. So how bad was that decade? I don't know. I think we're veering off the point here because
But at the same time,
we're trying to compare something here. I'm trying to compare what, where, and why. This team is deficient, and we knew this when Luka came. This team is deficient. They need probably one more guy that can kind of break down a defense and get to the basket, and they absolutely need a legitimate starting center. Until that happens, it's going to be very difficult for this team to play consistent basketball. And, of course, the fact that half of them take a sabbatical every other week, I don't know if that's ever going to change. I don't know if that's ever going to help down the road. I really don't.
let me see. JY said, question is, does LeBron get max next year and hinder the Lakers? I think if he gets it, it's going to hinder and just fuck us over. Kind of similar to what happened this year, him taking the 50. But I talked about this when Luka first came to the Lakers. Like Luka coming is kind of like a chess move against LeBron James, because at this point he's not the cash cow anymore, right? Like
But he has an option. Let's just put it. He has an option if he wants to pick it up for $50 million next year. That's the first thing, unless he decides to tear it up and do a 1-and-1 again.
And we know
people seem to forget that it's not it's if he wants to, he will get what he wants, John. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. He will get what he wants, right? So I was going to say, we all know LeBron James will do what's best for LeBron James, right? That is sealed in stone. But to me, it's like, okay, well then how serious do you want to take winning? Because you could get your money, and mind you, he probably makes more money off the court. To be honest, he does make more money off the court. To be honest with you, so how serious do you want do you want to take winning? Because if you're going to take a whole bunch of money and put us in a tough predicament to where now we can't do as much, you clearly don't. Winning clearly isn't the number one thing to you. So that'll be interesting to see. But I just want to talk about this, Johnny, brother. We do not want DeMar DeRozan. Okay, like I I have been off the DeMar DeRozan train for so long.
Why would you want a 35-year-old? Have you not seen what he has done to the Sacramento Kings?
Yes,
again,
please.
Have you not? Yeah. A 35-year-old mid-range jump shooter that costs you still what in the 20?
It's going to clog up the spacing. It's going to ruin our spacing.
I've been noticing a theme here lately. I've been sorting a really dumb theme lately, and that is credibility. There's a credibility check on a lot of things. And I think this is becoming the norm now, because you have media people who never played commenting about players who played, and the players are resenting it. Guys like us who never played in the NBA, initially your first instinct is to say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You never been at that level, right? What difference does it make in the end when we're telling you what we're seeing? We're commenting on what we're seeing. It has nothing to do with us not knowing what it feels like to play in the NBA. And if you think I'm going to feel sorry for a bunch of guys making $30 million, they can't play basketball, I want you to give me a good reason. $30 million. I want you guys to put that in perspective. Someone getting paid $30 to $40 million and they're not available, and you want me to not talk about it? If you're Jackson Hayes making $3 million a year and you're only paying 15 minutes and you're in the here and now, okay, well, that's the kind of player he is. That's what he makes. But you're talking about somebody who's taken up close to a third of the salary cap, and they're not available, and they're doing podcasts like a bunch of schleppers like us. How does that make any sense? And how is it that we are not going to criticize that? I'm not going after people because of what they do off the court. I'm talking about the court and what they're doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not telling these guys not to box out. I'm not telling these guys to go foul the third 3-point shooter for the fucking 10th time in one game. So now, because I'm not in that game, I'm not playing in the NBA, we're not playing in the NBA, all of a sudden, oh, well, you don't know what's going on. I will tell you this. If you can't do the basics in basketball, then you should not get paid what you get paid. If you can't hold yourself, if you're not athletic enough to put your hand up without fouling, then what are we doing here?
Can I jump in real quick, Joe?
Then I can't do that, right? Let's say I can't handle it. Then I shouldn't be in the game, right? Like, I don't know where this thinking comes from. Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I just the one thing I want to jump in on, because I agree that like you don't have to have played the game to be able to speak on the game, but like just for that example you gave, right, is for like be able to put your hands up to a shooter. It gets tricky the higher levels you get. Like it really do get tricky the higher levels you get, because to us it's like, oh, just put your just put your hands up. And this is where I say that, and I'm not saying that people, if you didn't play in the NBA, you can't talk, but what I am saying is that you have a certain perspective, right? And it's like, you played football, right, Joe? So what position you play, Joe? Center, right? Okay, cool. So I could tell you what a center does, right? I could tell you like, oh yeah, snap the ball and you get ready and hold these dudes or whatnot. And I'm sure there's a lot more to it. But what I'm trying to tell you is there's a perspective that you could bring that someone that did not play center cannot bring to the table, and you may know certain things. So while I agree with you, I do think that we cannot just throw that out there and say, oh, okay, well, we absolutely discredit that, because when you have played high level hoops, and especially in the NBA, you do have a certain perspective that you can come from and you can offer that most people don't really understand, because it's not just as simple as what a lot of people say. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing I wanted to add to that.
Well, we'll throw in, let's say, low level basketball. You know what a pick and roll is, right? I've ran the flex offense. That's how that's what my high school team is. That's the offense they ran. I've studied the triangle offense. Essentially, the triangle offense is a revolving triangle, depending on who's open and who's going to have room to do whatever, right? Those things are not very difficult. I'm sorry, they're not. It's kind of it's hard to
offenses are simple.
It's easy to understand the process. Now, how to execute it is a whole different thing. But at the end of the day, just like Phil Jackson used to say, it's still basketball at the end of the day. The fundamentals, how to set up your defense, how to box out, how to not foul the jump shooter. These are not things. These are things professional basketball players should not be doing over and over and over again. If you foul, I remember you foul a 3-point shooter. It's like once every month. It happens. Okay, I get it. A 4-point play happens once a month, once every couple months. Fine. But over and over again in the same game, over and over again, bad decisions under the hoop when you're 6'8", 6'9", 7 feet tall. You can't get the ball in the basket. These are terrible, terrible executed plays. You're not supposed to screw up in those. And those things build over a 48-minute game. And if a team is hot and they're making shots, that part happened tonight too. Golden State shot out of their minds today. That happens if there wasn't just Steph. So that happens. That's fine. But what killed the Lakers tonight is what's killed them pre-Luka, post-Luka. It's just what it is. They're not a very smart basketball team. And I don't feel like they really are about, like, it's so hard to compare the sports, but the contrast between like watching the Dodgers play and then watching the Lakers play is so different. It's not just, oh, well, they believe they're going to win every game. It's a fact that they get up and they do their job. And they're like, it doesn't matter who you put in. Is it school? Is this? I'm sorry, I'm going to say some names so you guys probably don't know. If it's I'm going to say this: the Cy Young Award winner in the AL got smoked this year. The NL Cy Young, and by the way, that's best pitcher in the leagues. Both got smoked by the Dodgers in games this year. To me, that's how you dominate. That's a dominating team. That's a team that goes, it doesn't matter who you throw out there. It doesn't matter if it's the best pitcher. We're going to whoop your ass. So that's what that's not there with the Lakers. They don't have that mentality.
That would have been a perfect one to put right in the middle of your.
I didn't read it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Put it back up again.
Oh, it said LeBron doesn't cheat. He pays off the refs like MJ did also. So it would have been you guys going at each other to instantly going at Johnny on that one. That would have been a classic scene. You're 2 days too late on that one. Actually, 3 days too late on that one, Johnny. Just timing, man. Timing. I do want to go ahead before Div X-Ray just copies and pastes again. With the Robert Wheeler syndrome thing where you just copy and paste it enough times that you think you're going to get your question answered. Because he thinks, the Lakers can magically just get Naz Reid and Miles Turner in the offseason to go ahead and solve all our problems. Because he thinks LeBron will take a pay cut if that happens. Which, okay, let's say he takes a $20 million pay cut. You still don't have enough in the salary cap to get 2 guys that are going to ask for more than $30 million a year. It's just that simple. Both those guys are going to ask for $30 million, Div. It would be nice, but yeah, it's not going to happen. And you need a rebounder. Those guys don't rebound well. Both of them combined don't rebound well. You will still have a deficiency in rebounds. I think you guys are falling in love with stretch fives, and the problem is that stretch five going to be able to rebound for you the way we need to rebound? Because when you have one core rebounder like what AD was for the season, and you were still getting killed on the boards, you were still getting killed defensively because the entire team was basing their defense around AD. It's still a problem for this team that they just don't have the right pieces yet to fit around Luka and LeBron.
Absolutely. And also, everyone's saying that you want Naz Reid. Understand that, like, styles is what styles is, and players playing together is what makes a good team. Naz Reid is not the big that would be best fitted.
Well, he's 6'9" to start off
exactly.
with, John.
So he's
a power forward.
Exactly. So not only is he's would be a small big, but he's also not that great of a lob threat option. And for Luka, he needs that lob threat option because it opens up the floor tremendously. Like, it opens up the shooters, it opens up his driving lane, and you of course you always you have that lob option. So to me, like, Naz Reid, he's more of a pick and fade, and he fades out to the 3-point line. So to me, like, I wouldn't even want to go for him. And the type of money that he would be looking to get is like out of this world, just because he's been popping off over there in on the Timberwolves.
Black,
Nasri is in
no,
center.
and
Block,
people
bro. We
still in
try
the
to
chat,
we try
they
to
still
tell
think
people
he's a
this
5.
every day, brother. We try to tell people this every day, and they still come in the chat and say, "Ooh, Nas Reed, Nas Reed."
The,
Like,
the,
to this day, I still
Center,
see like the
center,
Thanos.
stretch 5s. Stretch 5. No. Why is Gobert on that team playing alongside
there
him?
needs to be a threat at all times with Luca at the top of the key, and not you have to get a team constructed for Luca in a sense of if they press Luca, you're toast. That's the reality of what the next phase of this team is. And they didn't get Luka Doncic because they want to phase because they're phasing out LeBron. It has nothing to do with that. They're building for the future. And they happened to get a little opening and they took advantage of it. And it was a once in a lifetime trade, and it will benefit the Lakers because history says when the Lakers acquire a superstar, they always win. That's just what the history says. That's what history says.
James Incorrect Hex did it again. He's telling you to take down the Kobe
James
post
Incorrect Hex. I'm tired of cooking this dumbass, bro. I swear. He's always trying to say some dumb shit. He was already incorrect earlier and got
At some point, you need to ignore the
Yeah.
messages. You do address it a little bit at the beginning of the show, but if you start seeing more and more asinine comments, there's no point in really addressing stupid comments.
stupidity, right? There's no point in addressing this.
If you want to go sit on your AD soapbox, go ahead and go to Dallas and let go enjoy that over there. There is no GM.
I love the fact that he discarded Max Christie, who some in our chat deify, by the way, and we'll get Lively instead. Yes, yeah. Okay.
We all can see that James.
When we say acquiring players, the players that we feel could benefit the team, you have to take into consideration the realistic chances of getting a player as well. Of course, we would love to get Sabonis out of Sacramento. Number one, it's very unlikely Sacramento will trade him to LA. And more important than that is there's not enough money to trade back to Sacramento to get Sabonis. Sabonis makes $40 million. So when I use Jonathan Isaac as an example, this is a player that's going to make $15 million a year starting next year. That's manageable and someone who can actually play some defense. And he would benefit in playing with somebody like Luka or LeBron because now he actually has a guard that he has guards that actually do pass the ball, where in Orlando they don't do that. Franz, I always call those guys Hans and Franz just because I like their names. Those are not particularly point type guards that are going to distribute. They're all scoring type guards. So Isaac is essentially just kind of like a one-dimensional player. Whereas if he comes to LA, should he stay healthy, of course, he'll benefit in getting better offensive numbers. And of course, the Lakers would benefit with him playing better defense. You have to put that into consideration. I'm not saying I want Jonathan Isaac above any big. It's just you have to look at the realistic part of the current NBA structure. The current NBA structure is so horrid with this new CBA. It's very difficult to have any idea really how things are going to play out because the second you start creeping into that second apron, and it's already bad enough in the first apron, you have no shot. You have no advantages. You can't get anything after that. It becomes a hard cap. Hard cap in the NBA, one of the worst decisions that the Players Association agreed to this. Whoever the Players Association president was, I don't think it was Michelle Roberts. I think it was somebody else. I didn't even know this. Absolutely took a dump on all of this. And now everything's going to be about kind of a mediocre. NBA is not football, okay? It's so different. It's just not. Talent in basketball is so rare, whereas in football you can find a lot of talent everywhere in the draft. You can find talent at any point. Even free agents become really good players. Not that the NBA players don't either, but the point is there's more of those in football versus basketball. So to cap these guys out and make things quote unquote even, it makes things very hard to do things to improve your team in a quick manner. You have to wait. Just like right now, like with the Luka trade, you're not able to go get more help. Typically, you have to now wait for the summer, and then hope that you can get what you need. And then that might not be enough until LeBron leaves the following year because he makes so much money. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. And some of you are so tunnel visioned.
James.
You guys remind me of the Lakers players. You guys don't think about how things work in the NBA. You're not familiar, it seems like, with how the CBA works. And maybe you should start learning that. I wish I could have enough time to sit and read the 700-page CBA, but I don't. It might be more than 700 pages now. But the Lakers right now are suffering from the same ailments they've had for a while now, and that is they're not a smart basketball team. And when they have built momentum, they seem to self-inflict themselves and destroy that momentum by quote unquote resting. It's a bad mentality to have because when these kind of games come up, this is the result. They're not about going out there and killing. They're not about that. They're about, oh well, we'll relax, and then when we get to the playoffs, we'll solve the problem. Well, we'll see if that happens.
Did want to go ahead and say first off.
Okay,
Sharon,
how many times are you going to say this? Are you just here to say stupid shit like Luka's never going to win championship? You don't know that.
Yeah,
You don't know shit.
That guy's
You don't know
Lakers,
shit. You don't know that Luka's not going to win a championship. You're just saying it.
That Lakers guy is.
You're an idiot. Okay,
I'm gonna be honest,
Shut
Joe.
up.
Joe, don't even address. I think that.
No. I'm going to address it. You don't know shit. Okay, you're not Nostradamus. You don't predict the future. Okay, just to come here and say it over and over again. We got it the first 3 times you said it tonight. Okay, if that's all you have to say, shut up.
Man, please shut up. And James, take an advice of that too. You, along with that Los
The
Angeles
excuses.
Lakers guys,
Do you watch football? Do you watch basketball?
Cut the excuses. We lost today because of Luka. That's crazy.
I did want to address something though, John and Joe.
What's up?
YYC mentioned about with Orlando, because you and I both have talked about Orlando, Joe, because of the fact that they are so deficient on offense, and the Lakers have a lot of issues with defensive rebounding. I prefer more of a rebounder. You're preferring more of a defender. We could both make ourselves happy if the Lakers look to move both Hashimura and Austin, because they're going to be UFAs in the summer of 26. If we don't sign them to an extension, they're going to be this summer. If they both say no to whatever the Lakers offer, there's a good chance they can walk in 2026. So one place, since they're both offensively minded, Joe, a place you want to look at is Orlando. I know he had said a package of Suggs and also Isaac. Suggs, you have to ask because of his health, because he did he blow a knee, John?
Blew a knee. Yep, blew a knee.
Yeah, so you have to see how far, because he's not going to be ready for next season, at least the start of next season. So you have to put that in consideration. But if you bundle a package with those two, Joe, you could get some really good defenders out of it. Maybe throw in a Batazzi, maybe throw in another player there. But yeah, if you go for Suggs and you want Suggs, the problem is you have to wait for him until, well, like this time, next year, maybe around that time, because it might be up to a year before he gets back out on the court full time.
Gerald and Joe, I'm really happy that we're here on this show together, because we're seeing all these dumb comments, right? Like, I see it, Joe, Gerald sees it, like we all see it, right? I want to see all these people's energy. Like, I want to see them be able to keep the same energy when the tide flips, when everything that we're saying starts to roll through. And even if it's not, everything that we're saying this season, I don't know. Not that I don't know. I do know for a fact, none of us here have said, oh yeah, the Lakers are going to win the championship this year. So all this like, oh, they ain't winning shit. And Joe's mad because of this, or John's mad. Like, we never said none of that shit. We never said none of that shit. So just go ahead and keep that same energy when the tide flips right around.
JY, you're not getting Dyson Daniels. Legend will tell you he's not chat.
Yeah.
Atlanta is laughing right now at New Orleans for giving up DeJounte Murray. They got DeJounte Murray away from their team. They got Dyson Daniels and 2 first. They still have 2 first rounders, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, on top of the fact that they got Dyson Daniels for it. You think they would give him up now? You are crazy. Stop it, guys. Stop thinking crazy stuff. Stop asking for this player or that player. Take a moment to do a little bit of research. Like Sabonis. You guys keep talking about Sabonis. He is, what, 45 million, right in that range, I believe, for his salary. Where do the Lakers fit it? Where do they fit in the salary? They can't. They can't. It doesn't make sense. You guys, before you keep on your wish lists and all that like that, make real sense. Make real sense on what you're looking to get and acquire. Joe's trying to do that. John tries to do that. And I try to do that as far as achievable players that we can get. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to hear the words, we might have to trade Austin or we might have to trade Rui. But the fact is, those guys are going to go and get paydays in the summer of 2026, whether they do it in an extension that they sign in the offseason, Lakers, or if they walk on a UFA as a UFA in 2026. They are going to get paid next year, not this next season, excuse me, this upcoming season, the season after that. They're going to get paid after that because of what they've done now. And the thing is, do you want to trade and get some assets back? Or if they don't like which the Lakers offer for an extension, you might just have to let them walk. And that would be, well, look at what the Angels did, Joe. Let's look what the Angels did. They didn't trade Ohtani. They didn't trade Trout. What have they got?
Yeah, the Ohtani thing was an interesting one. Ohtani, this isn't talked about a lot, but Ohtani actually went back to Anaheim and said, "Can you match it?" I think the cynic in me thinks they knew they wouldn't match it, but out of respect.
Oh, Moreno will no Moreno.
He knew Moreno was going to spend so. I think their max was about 400 mil. So I think he went back knowing they weren't going to say yes to 700 million. I didn't think anybody was worth 700 million. Even me. I'm like, you're really going to pay 700 million for a one baseball player? But I underestimated the world market of Ohtani. I wasn't entrenched in what he was doing in a global standpoint in terms of his marketing, and we quickly found out after about a month how big he really was around the world. Now, as far as the Lakers are concerned, you've heard me say this: getting the Luka trade done changed my entire viewpoint on management. And when you make a trade like that, that's allows your team 10 years of a chance to win, there's options, and the Lakers are in a good position to build this team in a way where it's going to fit their number one guy here within the next year or two. When you build that team that's at its peak, the best players. If you look in the past, Steph has had that team a few years. LeBron had that team a few years. Kobe, obviously, a couple times. Shaq as well. Tim Duncan had those a few times. These guys are going to have the ability, and I'm talking about the Lakers, they're going to have the ability to build this. Now, if it means to trade someone like Austin Reeves to get a player that's going to be better than him, that's going to be a deal the Lakers are going to make. And it could happen. Or Lakers could have a deal this summer that we didn't expect, and and they're able to make it work. And Austin is a big part of the future of the Lakers. But that's it. That's how that goes. And whatever anyone says about Luka, I mean, I'm not going to really take you too seriously. If you think Luka's a dud, then
you're the dud.
Then you're really you're a milk dud. You're a milk dud going down the sewer, man. I mean, come on. We're here to support the team, even if they're dumb, because we're supporting the team in the front, right? That's ultimately what it is. And if your team isn't too bright, well, you got to get guys in here that can play smart basketball, or at
James,
least
first of all, well, let me get incorrect, James. I want to go ahead and get touched to incorrect, James.
Cook
Gerald
is
tells us
dumbass.
to trade Rubies and Reeves, but keep LeBron and Bronny. Idiot. Let me speak to you in a language you understand. Idiot. LeBron has a no trade clause, so you can't get rid of him. Idiot. 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 That you are.
Cook
So,
is dumbass.
yes.
Cook is dumbass.
You know what the thing is?
I
They
knew he
like
was
being
dumb in
called
the
idiot.
comments. I knew he was dumb
He's an
when I
idiot.
first commented with him. I knew it. I shouldn't have even gave this dumbass a time of day.
I answer
Let's
this
not even
question
give this
all.
idiot a time of day anymore.
Well, it's so funny because I answer that question all the time, John. Well, we need to get rid of LeBron. Well, we need when he has a bad game. Well, we need to get rid of LeBron. Or even today when he's efficient, John, when he shoots 8 of 11, he's still people want to get rid of him out of town. The problem is you can't. He has a no trade clause. It doesn't take that hard to research it, but if your name is James Incorrect Hex, you're probably doing it incorrectly anyways on a Google search.
Exactly.
So, yeah, like that, idiot. What an idiot, man. God.
Tell him, Gerald.
And
Tell
he's
him.
been listening to us calling him an idiot for an hour and 17 minutes. Who is the idiots? Really? Us or you?
Tell him. Sports
about
Baby in the chat. What's up, Sports Baby?
Yeah, it blows me away sometimes. Just these guys just are just like, oh, let's get rid of LeBron. You can't. Only he can do that. It's not that hard.
And then Block says dumb shit like this, like no fucking duh. Like thanks, bro.
Sports Baby is so funny.
Thanks,
Gerald,
Block.
can we trade LeBron? Sports Baby, you kill me, man.
Come on, Block.
Shout out to
expecting you
Vari.
to be a little better than this. Block. Come on, brother. A fucking course. That's like saying 1 + 1 is 2. Come on, dog.
He's just like, man, these guys are just like they don't have. They just. I don't know how they go throughout their day, John.
I don't know how these
do
people
they
have jobs.
Are they able
to
to
be honest?
understand and comprehend traffic signs? I worry about these people. These people drive. Joe, they carry. Sometimes they've been licensed to carry weapons.
Some of these people have kids.
I'll tell you what. I was talking about.
They've reproduced.
I was talking about something today when I was at the mall. Me and a buddy of mine got together and had lunch, and you just watch people sometimes just walk across the street and have absolutely negative. It's not even a zero, negative, like situational awareness. Guys riding their bikes in high traffic two-way roads, and they're just riding like there's some invisible shield around them. I'm like, I mean, seriously, like if you get hit right now by somebody, are you going to say, hey, I have the right of way? A car that weighs 4,000 pounds doesn't give a shit about your bike. And for me, this is the stuff that I talk about in terms of being around family and friends. See, spotting stupid people is my thing. It's why there's not a lot of problems in my life. And yes, it's abrasive. Yes, it can be taxing on, because there's a sense of anxiety sometimes. People, my family, my friends, because I'm sometimes a little bit more forward speaking. There's some anxiety knowing that when I come in the area, there might be something there. But even that, I've been able to understand the rooms, and I will exclude myself from certain events, knowing that I don't want to put people in my family, my friends, with that, right? But what it does do in the end is it protects everybody around me, because most people don't want to have the confrontation, and the confrontation for me is really the juice. I enjoy it because a lot of these schmucks who don't think, who just feel like they can say whatever they want, and it's a whole different thing in a room, and you're looking at somebody in the eye. When you're a pipsqueak pussy ass bitch on a chat room, it's easy to do that. But these motherfuckers are never going to do this in front of you. That's why I always tell everybody, I go, say it to my face. No one ever shows up to my place, by the way, whenever I say that, right? Like, if you got something to say, come to my place. Guys, Sin Blades is on Google. You Google this, my address comes up. And I have an alarm and I have cameras everywhere. So if you're outside my door, knocking, waiting for me, I will see you from wherever I am in the world because it
Joe,
it
can I
alerts
say
me.
something real quick?
Go ahead.
They probably have tried to come after you, but they probably just couldn't read the map or the GPS. And
Maybe,
find you.
maybe.
Like Block's dumbass probably. Block dumbass probably
maybe.
couldn't do
But
that
the
shit.
point is, and again, the point of this thing is if there's so many people that live in this stupidity, and then they're the same people typically that complain about why certain things aren't the way they want it. Well, the reason why they're not the way you want it is because you're stupid. That's why. And there's a lot of you. There's a lot of you out there that are just dumb. And when it comes to something as mundane as sports, and you can't simplify that, we're sitting here watching how many plays if we didn't get hit with copyright damn flags, I would put this stupid thing on here and I would show you. Tell me why DFS isn't boxing out here. Tell me why when Rui Hachimura has a line on the shot going up and he's sitting there like this instead of like this, ready for the ball to come. I'm not doing that. I'm seeing it. We're seeing him do it. He's doing it. And I've played basic basketball. John's played basketball. We've all played. All of us have played basketball, I'm sure.
Shot goes up, put a body on a man.
Put a body on
Find
somebody.
Find
Why
somebody.
aren't you doing it? Why? Oh, wait, they're not practicing. And what happens when you don't repetitively practice? You don't do the basics just naturally. You know, after a while, just like when a rookie comes into any sport, what happens? We'll use their Connect as an example. Connect is thinking too much out there. That's what happens when you're a rookie. That's why it's really difficult for rookies, especially in basketball, to be as effective as they probably want to be, is because they're still thinking what the offense is running, where to stand, how to break through a screen in the NBA, because a screen in the NBA, the second you give Steph Curry just a hair of a window, you're jacked. That's different than they are at Tennessee or in Arkansas or in Kentucky. So what are we doing here? We're telling you what we saw tonight. And you assholes are coming on here and saying, see, I told you Lucas isn't going to win a championship. How about talking about what you saw?
Block dumbass sounds like that.
Talk about what you saw.
You're killing me, Joe.
Okay? We all know Luka's not going to be on any defensive teams. So what is the point? You want me to sit up here and say, oh my God, Luka was terrible today. Let's trade him back to Dallas? Because that's what it sounds like. You want AD back? Is that what you guys are insinuating?
It's probably what Block and James think.
Well, whose job is that to make Luka block out or box out? Sorry. Isn't that the coaching? Isn't that the philosophy of the team?
Black thinks you're 5'2", by the way, John.
Yeah, Black doesn't know. I'll dog the shit out of him in basketball. Like, I really do this basketball shit. I would dog the shit out of his dumb ass. He's behind a little keyboard, scared to come here, man. Come on, Black. You a dumbass, bro. I'm not even gonna pronounce your name right because you're that fucking stupid. You don't even earn or deserve for me to call you your dumbass name. So I'm gonna call you what I call you, dumbass. Go ahead, Joe.
I keep getting that scene in Zach and Miri where the guy's ordering coffee and he goes, I'll take a coffee black, and then Craig Robinson, which is one of the funniest freaking people ever in movies. He goes, yes. Can't you see we're talking white? And the guy wasn't even white. The guy wasn't even white. Watch that movie, guys, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a funny
what movie is it?
Zach and Miri make a porno.
Yes.
God, you know who Craig Robinson is, right?
Chris Robinson?
Craig Robinson?
Craig
From
You
The
Robinson.
remember
Office.
Pineapple Express?
Oh yeah. I know
He's the one that
is.
goes like this in the car. He was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. I'm sorry, Knocked Up.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it wasn't 40.
Yeah.
Hey, Black or Block, whatever the fuck his dumbass name is, I would cook your dumbass. I'm willing to put nigga my house on the line. You will not stand in front of me, brother. I will have anybody beating you, Block. I ain't gonna lie. I know you probably in your mama's basement typing this shit out, bro.
Well,
Come on, bro. Get real.
Luka was playing defense at for him.
See?
The team defense was playing pretty well there for a while. I don't know what happened. Is he tired? Maybe he did say he was tired, right?
But he said his performance was unacceptable. It was basically so he's making himself accountable for this.
Again, he had his worst game as a Laker, and we're sitting here quibbling about a guy who's averaging almost 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists in an NBA season. I'm trying to understand how many players do that in this league.
You living in your mama's basement, brother. You living in your mama's basement, bro. Come on, bro. Get real. Like I said,
and you have to
any type of money. What's up, Joe?
And John, in 73 minutes, the bench has to give you more than 7 points.
There's not enough talent off the bench if Rui's going to start.
Yeah, but Alan, I know that Block is not a former NBA player. By his lack of basketball knowledge, that was the first thing I was able to tell, to be honest with you. So I already know that.
Here comes Alan. Alan's here.
I already know that. Alan was here in the he was here earlier in the
but he's been in and out. He's been in and out lately.
Alan's
plus he's got that muscle shirt in his profile pic.
You guys can see profile pics on here?
I see it online. No, I open up the regular YouTube.
Oh, the regular chat?
Yeah. All right, guys, be careful. Here comes Alan with an eye and his muscle shirt. Looks like he's flexing in it too. He looks like the black version of Hans and Franz, doesn't he? I guess I'm getting too old, man. No one knows what the hell I'm talking about.
Joe, you know who was huge?
You are
that dude that was in your chat the other day. I think he's like your cousin or something like that.
Oh, Ralph?
Yeah, Ralph.
Yeah.
The guy is massive.
Yeah, my cousin Ralph is a bodybuilder. He
shout out Ralph, man.
He's getting ready to do another show here soon.
Great guy. Great name too.
He is.
Well, I think we've done enough beating up the audience for one day.
And enough. I think we've abused Block and James enough today. They're gonna just go to bed crying. I think that's good right here for one day. But you could come back and get cooked tomorrow if you want.
No, we're getting the usual venom from the crowd or random people from the crowd because of a loss.
Yeah,
but this is premeditated. This was just waiting for the Lakers to lose and have the see. I told you, living in the moment, in that now all of a sudden we need to trade everybody, or we made a mistake. We, as in the fans that are sitting here, some of us can do a show in our underwear and you would never know, right? We're the ones that made this happen. Yeah. It's okay. It's part of the fun. I mean, Sean was inebriated a little bit during playback.
He was hilarious.
And usually when Sean is either drunk or the levels are a little low for him, he starts to get belligerent. And I'm the springboard there because I don't have a soul and my heart is black, so I can handle. Hey, black, see. I can handle the abuse just because, and he's able to get those things out of him. He could do it without worrying about the consequences. So who's ready for tomorrow? Are the Lakers gonna win tomorrow?
Hey, I hope the Lakers win tomorrow, but I just hope Block and James come back with better comments and just honestly higher IQ. Honestly, I hope you guys go and watch some games and just learn a little bit, because you could learn a lot and then you could come back tomorrow a whole nother person. You can come back tomorrow a better person, a better version of what you are today, because what you did today, brother, honestly, is terrible.
But if the Lakers win tomorrow
I
against
never
New
said
Orleans,
that. I never said less athletic. The athleticism is still there. It's the size and the durability is not there.
But we appreciate you being here though, Block and James, because hey, you're helping us.
Oh, and
So
softer. There's no doubt. I mean, there's no
Thanks.
argument there that you're not going to win this. These are the biggest pansies that have ever played basketball mentally.
that's a good question, Tough. Who does sit out tomorrow? Again, the Lakers, if they win and Denver loses at Golden State tomorrow, the Lakers will be back in third place. But good question. Against a depleted New Orleans team that is sitting out CJ McCollum and Zion already for the rest of the season, who do they sit out tomorrow? I don't think they should sit out anyone at this point in time until they've got something clinched as far as a
Wow,
third
after
place.
all that, and we're still talking about people sitting tomorrow.
That's what was asked.
that's how it is, Joe.
That's what got us in trouble in the first place, is because they
Wow.
sat down these players.
You're winning and you're building an amazing chemistry, and then you stop. But we're wrong on that, right? This is the new NBA.
Yep.
I'll
Ever
say
since that Milwaukee game,
if you
want to
take 20 games off, if you want to take 20 games off, then you take 20 games off of your salary so that the team can get somebody else. We did talk about this, what is it, a year and a half ago, Gerald?
Yep.
We talked about this a while ago. You want to take 20 games off? Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, then you take 20 games off your salary so that the team can reallocate that money to getting somebody to cover your ass. But they won't do that.
No, you did this actually. You touched on this years ago when Lakers were playing Memphis and Houston back to back, and they had won the game in Memphis, and we were all on the up and up. And the next day, I believe they sat both AD and LeBron, if I remember correctly. And you were so livid. I actually was on the road at that point in time, and the hotel security were knocking on the door asking if everything was okay because it was just sold out. Because that was probably your top three, one of your top three rants of all time.
It's frustrating, man. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this example. Every game that you watch, every game, it doesn't matter if it's the Lakers, doesn't matter if it's a baseball team, a basketball team, doesn't matter, right? I think you can almost guarantee that there will be a fan there for the first time and the last time at a game. And the impact that it makes, the difference between a fan that becomes a fan for forever because of that game, it's immense. So players back in the day, guys like Kobe, guys like Jordan, guys that took it upon their own pride to say, I want to play every game because there may be someone out there that's never going to see me again play. There is nothing like that. It's about, I'm going to get mine. And most athletes have had that before. I'm not saying this started 10 years ago, but what separated those guys, the Kobes and the Jordans, and why they were number one versus the ones that weren't, was because they were participants. And people admired their tenacity. They admired the fact that not only were they just tenacious and effective and winners, but they were always there. They were always there. These guys don't give two shits about being there. They don't care about you. They don't care about the fan that's out there. Jimmy Butler, we had a discussion about this. He sat out a game, and some kid came to a Miami game to see him play, and his stupid ass.
Because he said he was sick.
Out. Yeah,
he
said
he
he was sick,
flu.
and then he's out prancing and dancing around because he found
Taking
out that
pictures.
the kid. Yeah, he found out that the kid came to see him. Did he really come out to see Jimmy Butler grab assing at mid court during shoot-arounds. He went there to watch him play. So it's just not something some of us maybe relate to. We just don't. We adapted to this. But for me, the only way I can balance it out in my head is to continue to call these pussies out. And I wish I could say it to their face. I really do. But I'd get game. I'll get kicked out of the press. Whatever it is. I'd probably not do it initially. But if I get the right trigger, and that's one of the things that I have been good at in my life, is I usually do the right thing at the right time when I don't like to do the right thing at the right time. I usually like to be really, really not doing the right thing. But there are times where the right little opening does come up, and I'll be like, man, you're a bitch.
He said it so hard. His thing came up. By the way,
Wait, did he take himself off? Or?
He must have. He must have, John, because he kicked us out again.
That was
something happened.
So funny. That was a perfect transition. He's like, "You're a bitch."
That was a
and
perfect
then just
transition. Right on the end of your sentence, Joe.
That was so funny, actually.
That was good. Shout out to Search and Destroy. Re-upped his membership.
Jeff, I don't know where Jeff is tonight. He seems to be he's going to concerts and whatever it is he's doing.
Big shout out to all of our mods. Search and Destroy, Xbox.
Where is Search? Baby. I didn't see him tonight.
He was there. He just said he's listening from the road.
There he is.
He just put a $5 super chat up there.
Hey, Search, how you doing? I didn't see him until now.
Yeah. Legend right there.
Thank you, my friend. Always appreciate it. But yeah, just we're gonna go get back at this.
Hold on, Sharon has something to say. Let me
Yeah.
indulge her a little bit here. Injuries lead to the coaches and owners sitting players, not players being lazy. That's a lazy concept. Come on, Sharon, really? You really make an excuse for these guys? I already told you just now. You guys want to sit? Take less money so that you can get your poor little 20 games a year, so that you can go ahead and get your little ass rested so that this team doesn't miss a beat. It happens in baseball, guys. It works in baseball. For example, Freddie Freeman slipped and hurt his surgically repaired ankle, and you have Kike Hernandez, who takes a really good salary, and he's covering for him. And it's worked. They still winning. You have Kershaw, who's out until midseason. You have another pitcher that can cover for him. You don't have that kind of stuff in the NBA. You want to sit. Okay, Sharon, I want you to pay attention when I say this. It's very important that you hear what I'm saying. Y'all want to sit making $40 million a year, then you take that $40 million and you take out $15 million and you let the team go spend that on somebody who's good enough to cover your ass when you're not playing for 20 games. This isn't a true or false question. This is about viability. This is about winning. If you're a $40 million player, your $20 million players are not doing their fucking job, then you need to reallocate that money so that others can pick up the slack. The schedule says 82 games a year, not 62.3. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a common sense discussion now. You don't want to get paid max money? Then you go ahead and get near max money so that we cannot have to deal with this kind of stupid shit. Max money means max time, baby. You know what happens when I don't do max time at work? I lose money.
That was
I lose money. When I don't max out my time at work, I lose money. And no one gives a shit. Oh, well, Joe, you're just selling installations. What do you care? What's the difference between that and sports? Matter of fact, no one comes and pays me $100 to watch me jerk off at a lawn. Why is it okay for the NBA player to do it? They're sitting there drinking tea on the sidelines, eating tofu, whatever the hell it is that they're doing over there, like it's a goddamn restaurant. Nope. This is not a discussion or an argument. This is common sense. You're not available, take less money so that and put this in the CBA so everybody knows what's happening. They ain't gonna do that. Shit. I get asked a lot. Why do I not like Ben Simmons? I'll tell you why I don't like Ben Simmons. That piece of shit didn't play for a year, playing Call of Duty the entire time, and then had the fucking nerve to make a complaint to the NBA and to collect his $20 million. And guess what they did? They gave him the fucking money.
Crazy.
Fuck you, man. Seriously,
shit
go
was
fuck
crazy.
yourself then.
And
You'll
doesn't
never
want to
get my
get in,
support.
doesn't want to get in the gym. My issue with Ben Simmons is, remember how, like, he couldn't shoot, but remember there was a period when Giannis like couldn't shoot free throws, and the whole world like ridiculed him, did the whole count that like they counted down, he's at the free throw line and all that. If you watch that, the following year in Game 7 when the Bucks ended up winning the championship, he had like 21 free throws in Game 7 or just something ridiculous. You know what that tells me? He got in the gym and he's like, fuck all that noise. I'm gonna get in the gym and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But Ben Simmons just never did that. Literally still the same
Aaron
player.
Gordon, 13 years, 12 years in the league,
Got in the gym.
known as a volume shooter from three, but not a good one. This year or this off summer, he must have really applied himself, because we're seeing the results from him. He's shooting 45% from three, and it can be done. Even late in your career, it can be done, John. You can apply yourself to get better at your game. We always talk about Dalton Connect not getting any minutes. He got nothing tonight. Coach DMP tonight. People are talking about, why did Vando do this? Why did Vando do that? Again, Dalton Connect is not getting any minutes. People are complaining about that. He doesn't play defense, but that's what he needs to work on in order to understand at the end. His moral of the story is, at the end of the season, John and Joe, he has to understand, if he doesn't play better defense, he won't stay on the court. So he better get his ass with a coach or a specialist to help him learn how to defend better at the NBA level this offseason, so he can actually go and be out in the court on a more consistent basis.
There's not much of an example of good defense from the bench. He's not learning any good defense from this team.
Because DFS and Vando didn't show up tonight. Again, terrible performance by the bench. 7 points in 70+ minutes. That's not going to get it done.
It's ridiculous, guys. Ridiculous.
Well, John, you're the host, my friend. Where do we go from here? Tomorrow?
Okay, well, shoot. Okay, sounds good, Gerald. I mean, you're the podfather, so I was leaving it up to you.
You're doing your best impersonation of the podfather.
Okay,
you're
yes,
going
I
at
am.
people. You're doing a great job of sending the questions to us. You are the man tonight, my friend.
Yes.
All right.
Well, then, Gerald, I appreciate you for that. And we've gone here for about hour 40 minutes. I appreciate all 67 people that are in here with us, man. You guys are the best. Even if you guys don't have the smartest comments or not to say, you're here. So we appreciate you guys. Does someone want to talk about this comment? The vast majority of players play themselves out.
Sharon is standing on whatever she's standing on, and she won't get off it.
It's at an impasse, John. It's at an impasse. She is going to believe what she wants to believe.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple.
Sharon,
I appreciate
her
determination.
You've allowed ridiculously multi-millionaires to be soft. A lot of you have. There's no accountability. There's no accountability anywhere anymore. As long as you make millions of dollars, there's no accountability. No one's getting in trouble anymore. Doesn't matter where. People blame politicians for being crooks. These guys are crooks too. They're legal crooks. They're stealing money legally from your pocket because your eyes pay for the advertisements. When you go to the games, you're paying for parking. You're paying for the gas to get there. You're dealing with the stress of getting there too. That's a lot to deal with. And you're sitting there and you're eating shit on top of it. And they don't even show up half the goddamn time to entertain you. And yet you're sitting there saying, well, the owners want them to sit. You're telling me that if LeBron wants to play and Jeannie comes on and says, you're not playing tonight, I want you to rest. You think LeBron doesn't have the power to say, no, I'm playing tonight? Come on, man. I think you guys are starting to imagine things a little too much. These guys are soft, and they are getting softer. And it's not Charmin anymore. It's just straight up like soiled water all over one ply toilet paper. It's not even the freaking dual ply. These
The
guys
one
are
ply.
soft as shit.
It's like when you're in desperate need and you run into like a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven, and
so-
they've got
yeah,
that
they're
unknown
soft.
brand right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
the one
oh,
that-
get that.
The one that busts through when you're wiping. That's how soft they are,
Oh.
and thin they are.
I'm sorry, the worst joke.
Yeah.
Or when you go to somewhere, you go like in a convenience store and you go to the restroom. Yeah, they've got like half ply. It's not even one ply, Joe. It's like half ply.
Look,
And
man,
it's just like,
I have short fingers, but my hands are big, right? Like my palms. I don't know what it is about. That's why I try to stay away from public bathrooms as much as I can. What is that toilet paper? It's like this when I have it on my hand. I'm like, what am I supposed to wipe with? My hand?
You got to
What
use
is this? The
hella of it.
1800s? Where's the corn on the cob? That's what they used to do use back then.
They
The
used to wipe
cob.
their ass with
They
corn
used to
on the
wipe their
cob.
asses with cobs, corn cobs.
That's
Or just that's why people didn't shake hands with their left hand. They used to. That was the cleaner. Yeah, man. Back in the day, when people talk about back in the day was so much better, I'm like, not everything. Matter of fact, most of the stuff back in the day was worse.
Oh my goodness, man. Well, I think this is a good place for us to go ahead and wrap up our show, man. Like I said, 78 people in here with us, man. Appreciate everybody being here locked in. Even the dumbasses like Block and James out there. You know what? You're still supporting. Even though you're not the smartest in the bunch, you're still supporting. So we appreciate you for that. Okay, we got another comment to talk about. You
Geez,
think
Sharon is just dying on
Sharon, this ledge.
on this vine, man.
you got to give her some
Okay,
credit for that.
Sharon.
And when did I say LeBron was lazy?
All right, go ahead.
I
Joe.
said soft. They're all soft. Everybody's soft.
taking
It's-
the amount of games.
The
off they're
results are
taking.
right there. The results is in the participation and the non-defensive playing and the non-rebounding when you need it. That's them. I'm not doing it. I'm
He
just
shot
telling you
10
what
of
they're
15
doing.
tonight. Man, even when he shoots 10 of 15, people still give him a load of crap.
Who?
LeBron.
Well, his shooting was fine, but his
It's everything
defense
else.
was and
As
rebounding was
everything else.
no.
Yeah.
All these guys sucked ass. Where
And even his shooting, honestly, he came on way too late in the game. I started this post game by saying he came on too little, too late. Tried turning it up, tried applying himself too little, too late in this game.
they're all soft. 805. Every single one of them.
805.
Every
805
single one of them
Fillmore.
is soft.
Are you from the city? Are you from San Francisco? There's a neighborhood out here called Fillmore. But okay. Well, with that being said, if we have another Sharon comment, then we can talk about it here. But like I said, appreciate everybody being here, man. The
So just so you
mods-
guys know, Sports Baby and Xbox are talking mad smack.
Oh, those
And
guys
they'll
are
use every
hilarious.
weapon. They'll use every comment to do that.
This is
Those
G-rated.
guys
This
are
is G-rated compared
hilarious
to
in
what
the group chat.
Yes.
In the group chat, they tear each other up. That is hilarious. 805. I love that you're from the city, bro. That's what's up. I'm from the East Bay, bro. We should link up sometime, bro. Go hoop or something, or go catch a game or something like that. I don't know too many Lakers fans out here in the city, so glad to know you from SF, man. But anywho, great show tonight, guys. Gerald, great job. Hope you enjoyed your dinner. Hope you that made up for this terrible game.
Yeah,
Joe,
but just coming back, man, it makes your stomach sick once you come back to see what you see as far as how the Lakers play defense tonight, and then the reception that we get online every time that they
swear
lose.
to God, Tough, you are in the East Bay. Stop playing with me, Tough. Hit my DMs. Go follow my Lakers Corner Instagram. It's
Man, you know what was
Lakers
really cool is East Bay,
under-
the magazine. Remember we used to
Oh,
be able to order all
those-
that shit.
Yes.
Man, what happened to
Well,
that, man?
by the way, yeah, it is fuck the Bay Area because the Bay Area is just ridiculously expensive. But damn, if there's anybody out here that is from the Bay Area or I guess around it, hit my Instagram. It's Lakers_corner. I'd love to link up with one of you guys, go watch a game, go do something, man. But
Yeah, especially
he's so
Black.
from
Take a
Vallejo.
flight, hang
Oh,
out.
I would love to see Black's dumbass, bro. I'll cook his dumbass, beat the fuck out of his dumbass on the court, off the court, do all that.
Hey, basketball.
We're talking about
wise.
basketball here, man. We're not here to
Yeah.
throat punch anybody.
No, I meant basketball.
Even though you say it all the
bro.
time.
That's crazy.
That's
Tough.
because
You
I'm
were a
talking to
real
you
one.
guys. I'm not talking about the audience.
I can't believe it, Tough. Hey, that's what's up, bro. Hit my DMs. We'll go watch a game. We'll go link up, bro. But
Marks wipes his ass with
with leaves. That is crazy. Those two kill each other.
You guys, you haven't seen any. This is like one small little part of it. Oh man, they roast each other.
Man,
Oh,
Tough. Hey, Tough and Tough and Fillmore. Y'all just made my night, man. Y'all just made my night. That's crazy. That's what's up, man. Taser shocked him, John. That's hella funny.
Oh, where'd that come from? Oh man, Mark, that was funny, man. Seriously, I don't know if you can return serve on that one, but geez, that was funny.
oh, you know he'll try.
Mark will be
I keep
coming back.
imagining the leaf would be like one of those that dried out and crumbles.
I got a ton of those around my place.
Oh
Yes, sir,
man,
Tough. Hit me up, bro. Hit me up. We'll go hoop. We'll go. We'll have fun, bro. I can't believe it's gonna be fun to meet
hey, Mark, sorry, John.
No,
Mark, you'd be proud, man. I walked like 10,000 steps today, and I walked like 30,000 steps last 2 days.
Joe, you got to add Legend and Roth in there because as far as that.
Oh, you mean the chat? Yeah, Legend. Have him PM us.
Okay. It's on WhatsApp, Legend.
Yeah,
I'll
it's on
get
WhatsApp.
You and Raphael, we gotta get in there.
Yeah. Man,
Joe started it. I think he's the other one that can get people in there. The Lakers lost tonight, 123-116. Lakers in fourth place once again, 46-30. But they can right the wrong and get back in third place tomorrow. But we'll see.
Yes, sir, man. Everyone, thanks for being here. Joe, you want to go ahead and tell everybody about your great new show and where they can find it?
Yeah, so I'm slowly building my. Well, you guys were seeing. I was trying to build something here. It didn't work on. I don't think it works on, or at least it doesn't work as well on Talk Studio.
Yeah.
But the Joe Soro experiment is in full motion. There's going to be production value that's going to continue to get added on. But please come and like and subscribe. I'm on YouTube. Soon I'll be on X. I just started my new Instagram with it. So little by little, I'll start to get things built up there. Again, it's the Joe Soro experiment. Just go on YouTube, put Joe Soro experiment. Experiment is spelled O with an O instead of the E. And then experiment like you would normally, except the E would be an O. And you guys will get, I've been kind of back and forth the last week or so, but I'm kind of starting to get settled in here. You'll get more and more shows as the playoffs start to loom in the NBA, and of course the Dodgers are giving me every reason to do shows every day because those guys are just absolutely performing the way they're supposed to. So that's the button. That's the button.
Joe is also on playback. If someone could drop the link there for Joe's playback, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love you guys on playback, except playback plays this stupid ass restriction type thing. It's gonna suck that if we can get everybody over there, because we'll play random games on there if you guys want to just get on there. Of course, the Dodger games, but we'll Vari, one of our guys, he helps start the playback. So if you want to watch games before the Dodger games start, you could usually do that, and we can shoot the shit a little bit. And usually, I'm available. I can just kind of come in whenever. Hey, thanks, Bloodhound. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, we're here to continue. We're trying to get things going daily, like throughout the day as much as we can, because we need to build. I can't understand how some of these lame ass shows have like 20 to 30,000 freaking subscribers. Some of these shows literally put me to sleep. I don't know what the hell. I don't know how the hell these guys do it. But I'm also I have a meeting at 9:00 tomorrow morning to talk to some possible marketing people. I'm not understanding what's going on with this and why we're not sitting at 20,000 subs here on LFB. And then of course mine just started. So I'm going to be on at full throttle and trying to see if we can get this thing going a little bit so we can get the algorithm where we want it.
Full throttle, baby. You heard it here first, man. You guys see Joe's link for playback, see Joe's link for his channel. Make sure you guys go support. And as always, you guys please support Lakers Fast Break. Man, Gerald, absolutely great work. You always do. Appreciate you hosting as you always do, being the podfather. Appreciate you.
You did it tonight, man. Great job by both you guys. So
just trying to be like you, Gerald. Just trying to be like you, brother. And then if you guys want to check out all of my stuff, please do. You can check me out on Instagram. It's Lakers_corner. Got like 2,000 followers on there. You can check me out on TikTok. It's Lakers_24. You can check. I got like 7K on there. And then YouTube is just Lakers Corner. I do 3-minute game recaps, talk about the game in a little bit more details, do some film breakdown sometimes. But as always, man, appreciate everybody being in the house tonight. Whether you knew what you were talking about or you didn't know what you were talking about, you're here and we support it and we appreciate it, man. So with that being said, appreciate you guys and we will see you guys tomorrow. We're out.
Oh, look, it's the alcoholics that never show up anymore.
Hey, Joe, Sean was on one today, bro. That was crazy.
Yeah, Sean needs to get his jollies off.